We good?
We're good.
Hello, my fellow yogis, and welcome to your 60-minute Vinyasa class. Don't know what that was. I'm Spencer. Amelia will be our demonstrator as always. And we will begin on our backs in Supta Baddha Kadasana.
I love that word.
Supta Baddha Kadasana. Reclined bound angle is what that means in Sanskrit. I try to learn one or two Sanskrit names of postures every week or so. There's a lot. After a while, you kind of get the hang of it. So let's begin on our backs with our knees out wide, soles of the feet come together, pressing into one another. Maybe allowing the knees to fall down towards your mat. Palms out at the side. You can have your palms facing up to receive. If you'd like to place one hand on your belly, maybe your right hand on your belly, your left hand on your heart, just to make that connection. And we'll just come to our pranayama breathing. We'll start out with a mindful meditative breath. So during our mindful meditative breath, your breath is soft and quiet. The texture of your breath is smooth and easy. You're just settling into your yoga mind, into your yoga head. Just allowing any thoughts of the day to be acknowledged, accepted, and released. If you've been in your home for some time now, your mind can start playing games with you. Just allow those thoughts, recognize objectively from an aerial view what those thoughts are, realize that they exist, and then just let them pass through. When your monkey mind comes in, when your internal dialogue takes over, when you catch yourself, bring yourself back using a 3-part breath. First breath, focus on that breath itself. Second breath, focus on your surroundings. What do they feel like? What does it sound like? What does it smell like? What's the temperature? Third breath brings both of those two things together, your internal and your external. Joining together, yoking together. That's what the word yoga means, to yoke, to join the mind, to join the body, to join the spirit. Take a final mindful meditative breath. And then begin to move into your ujjayi breath. So you're deepening your breath here. Now the sound of your breath is more audible. And the texture of your breath is coarse and rough, and you're feeling the air as it passes over the back of the throat. You're making a snoring sound, an oceanic sound. Maybe visualizing the diaphragm dropping down in the abdominal cavity on your in-breath and raising on your out-breath. Building heat, building fire, and coming back to this breath during your practice when you need that additional fire and heat in your belly. Take 2 final ujjayi breaths, and I encourage and invite you to extend your breath, to extend that exhale, building the capacity, the pulmonary, the lung capacity, practicing, working on your breath, extending. And making our way to our final breathing pattern, our cleansing breath. This time, inhale deeply. But at the top of your breath, you'll pause for a count of 4, 3, 2, 1. Mouth opens wide. You're steaming a small compact mirror right in front of your mouth. Inhale. Pause at the top of your breath. Hold for 4, 3, 2, 1. Mouth opens wide. Exhale. Inhale. Chest fills, belly fills, heart fills. Exhale. You'll take 2 final cleansing breaths on your own, extending the exhale, lengthening, and remembering that you have all of these patterns of breath. Your mindful meditative breath, your ujjayi breath, your cleansing breath to come back to during class. There are other breathing patterns, but those are the ones we will use most frequently. After your final exhale, your eyes will blink open and we'll move into happy baby. So we'll bring the legs up tall. You're going to grab either the ankles or the outside of the heels, the outside of the feet, knees spread open wide, soles of the feet facing the ceiling, maybe rocking side to side ever so slightly here, just warming up the spine. And after 3 or 4 rocks, bringing yourself back to stillness, holding there, and then maybe pressing out on the knees with the elbows, and then maybe thinking about pulling the soles of the feet and the knees closer to the floor, opening up the hips, hip flexor and hip external rotation. Inhale. Exhale, we'll bring the arms to the floor in a T, palms facing down, knees up in the air together. We'll take our first spinal twist. So let's take the knees to the right, and your gaze will go to the left. You're torquing the spine like a wet wash rag here. So the lower body is torquing to the right, the upper body and cervical spine torquing to the left. Hips are stacked, knees are stacked, ankles are stacked. Gaze is over the left hand, left ear, left cheek, making its way to the mat, maybe pressing down into the left shoulder. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, knees come back to center. Exhale, we'll take the knees to the left and the gaze goes to the right. Same thing on this side. Knees, hips, ankles stacked over one another. Sometimes that, in this case, that right hip would be not necessarily stacked. So try to roll the left hip under, roll the right hip forward, and try to bring the hips into a good stacking position. Your cervical spine is turned towards the right. Your gaze is over the right middle finger, pressing the right shoulder into the mat. Inhale. Exhale brings you, inhale. Exhale brings you back to center. Let's grab behind the thighs and we'll do a couple spinal rocks. So you're clasping your hands under your knees, 3 or 4 spinal rocks, warming that spine up, trying to keep the feet off of the mat, balancing on the sits bones, and then when you've had enough, come to stillness in boat pose, Navasana. We'll all start out together with our shins parallel to the mat. Maybe the toes are flexing back. If you see, Amelia has a nice posture here where her thighs are coming very close to her chest. If you're comfortable here and you'd like to open your arms up to receive, feel free to go there. Holding here, engaging your core right here now, engaging that core, balancing on the sits bones. And then if you're comfortable here and want to straighten the legs and come into full expression, you'd straighten the legs by contracting the quadriceps muscles. Inhale. Exhale, let's keep the legs straight and we'll bring the heels to the floor as we sweep our arms up tall. Suck your belly button into the spine, engaging the bandhas. And then on your exhale, begin to forward fold. Restorative fold here, first fold of the class. So you can grab your shins, you can grab your ankles. If you can make it to your feet, fine, go there, but you don't have to. You want to suck your belly button in to give yourself plenty of room to forward fold. If you'd like to bend your knees, feel free to bend your knees here. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale brings you up to seated. Let's cross the legs over one another and then roll over. Find your way into tabletop. Knees directly under the hips. Shoulders directly over the elbows. Elbows directly over the wrists. You can have your toes rolled under should you choose, or your feet flat. We'll take a couple cow cats here. So let's inhale. We'll drop our belly and gaze upward. Full spinal extension in cow pose. And then on your exhale, you'll bring your chin to your chest, press into your palms, dome your spine, allow your spine to imprint itself onto the ceiling. Inhale for cow, full spinal extension. Exhale for cat, full spinal flexion. And now I invite you to take 3 or 4 cow cats on your own. And I also encourage and invite you to move any part of your body that you choose to. Maybe roll the cervical spine, maybe roll the hips. And after 3 or 4, we will come back to tabletop. We're going to move into a thread the needle. So let's extend that right arm up tall, touch the ceiling with your right fingertips, and then on your exhale, you're going to bring that right arm through the opening, lower the face down so that the right cheek and right ear are on the mat. If you can't get there comfortably, place a pillow, place a block, or place a blanket underneath your right cervical spine and your right cheek. Hips are up tall. Now that left arm can either be kept in, or you can extend the left arm up tall, walking the fingertips towards the top wall. And if you're comfortable here and want to take this into a little bit more of a bind, you can bend that left elbow, bring the left arm behind the body, touch the right hip with the left fingertips, and find your way into a fuller expression of thread the needle. So we're taking the right shoulder right here into internal rotation, full internal rotation. We're also taking that cervical spine into full cervical rotation. And in this case, because Amelia has a bind, she's taking that left shoulder into full internal rotation as well. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale. Let's place that left palm right in front of the nose and then press yourself up using your hand. Sweep the right arm up tall, touch the ceiling, and then bring it back down to center. And we'll move to the other side. Inhale, left arm sweeps up tall. Touch the ceilings with your fingertips. Do this slowly and consciously. And then slower than you would like, bring that left arm through the opening, extending that left hand out long. Left ear, left cheek comes to the mat. Right arm can stay in at the side, or you can extend it up. Touch it. If you're extending that arm up, touch the wall above your head with your fingertips. Make this an active pose in the right side. And then if you're comfortable here and would like to move into a bind, take that right arm behind the back, trying to touch the left hip with the right fingertips. And now we have that left shoulder in internal rotation, the cervical in left rotation, this cervical spine in left rotation, and the right shoulder also in internal rotation. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, right palm comes in front of the nose, and on our exhale, let's press up. Sweep that left arm up tall, touch the ceiling, and then back to center. Hold here, take one set of cow-cat to reset the spine. And then we're going to roll the toes under, lift the hips up tall. We find ourselves in our first down dog. Pedal the feet, swivel the hips, bend the knee as much as you would like here. When you come to stillness, you're pressing the heels into the earth. You're pressing your chest towards your thighs. You can bend your knees should you choose. Hold here. Now, pressing into the left hand, you're going to take that right palm and grab the outside of the left shin.
Right palm outside. Left. This is twisted.
There you go. We're taking a little bit of a twist here. So right palm to the outside of the left shin. Maybe gazing under the left arm. Taking this into a twist for 3. For 2. For 1. And release. Right palm comes down. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Left palm comes to the outside of the right shin. Now taking that twist, gazing under the right arm. Using that hand on the shin to give you leverage. Inhale. Good. So you had a little more twist on this side because you knew what was doing, right?
Yes.
Exhale. Inhale. Left palm comes back to the floor. We're in down dog.
I'm dangerous when I know what we're doing.
Inhale. Let's take that right leg up high. We're going to bend that right knee and then begin to stack the hips. So in doing so, that knee is bent and that right heel is coming towards the glute. As you can see, if you're looking, Amelia has her right hip directly over her left hip. So she's rolling that left hip under and the right hip behind. Maybe gazing under the left arm, can you see the heel on your right foot? Inhale. If you're comfortable here and would like to flip your dog, this would be the time to do so. So Amelia's in flip dog. That left leg is straight. That right knee is bent. She's extending the right fingertips to the wall above her, pressing down into the left palm, lifting the hips towards the ceiling. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale returns you back to 3-legged down dog. Right foot comes down to meet the floor, and we find ourselves in down dog. We'll move to the other side. Inhale, left leg lifts up tall. Bend the knee. Begin to bring that left heel towards the right glute, stacking the hips. Beautiful. So she has a beautifully bent knee here. That heel is coming towards the glute. She's gazing under the right arm to catch a glimpse of her left heel. Her hips are stacked beautifully. She's pressing her right heel into the floor. Inhale. Exhale. If you flipped your dog on one side and you'd like to flip your dog here, feel free to do so. Now the right leg is long, the left knee is bent, pressing down into the right arm, extending the left fingertips to the wall behind you or in front of you, and release. Back to 3-legged down dog, and back to down dog. Pedal it out, pedal it out, pedal it out. That'll wake your hips up and your shoulders. We're going to take a quick Vinyasa ladder here. We'll do a 3-part Vinyasa ladder just to get us ready for our Vinyasa flow in a couple of minutes. Follow my cues, 1 breath, 1 motion. Inhale brings you forward in the high plank. Shoulders are over the fingertips and hips are lifted up tall. Exhale, back to down dog. Inhale, forward in the high plank. You can drop your knees if you would like here. Otherwise, begin to make your way down into chaturanga, keeping the elbows in tight. Chin comes to the mat. Exhale, back to high push-up. And then back to down dog. So this time we'll take our full vinyasa as we will during the rest of the class. You can always sit these out during class, as I always say, and you can always come down to your knees and do a yogi push-up instead of a full chaturanga.
If you come down to your knees, it's cobra, right?
You can,
Okay.
not necessarily though. Inhale forward in the high plank. Exhale lower. Inhale, you can come into upward facing dog or cobra. And then exhale, roll over the toes, downward facing dog. So now we're all warmed up. We're going to bend the knees ever so slightly, gaze to the top of the mat, and either step or hop to the top of the mat. Find your way to nice forward fold, Uttanasana. Maybe grabbing the elbows one another. Bringing the crown of the head towards the floor, your hips towards the ceiling. Your knees can be bent here, but if you'd like to try to straighten them a little bit more, think about relaxing the hamstrings and contracting the quadriceps. They are antagonistic muscles. Work in opposition with one another. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale. Exhale, fold. Inhale, arms sweep up tall. We bring our hands to our heart center. We set up in mountain pose, Tadasana. We'll take a couple cleansing breaths here before we move into our sun salutations. So use your Tadasana as a resting pose, but knowing that you're getting ready for the next sequence. Both feet are grounded well into the earth. Shoulder blades slightly retracted. Chin slightly tucked. Collarbones facing forward. Heart is open. Palms facing forward. We'll move into Sun A with a lunge in between. Inhale, arms sweep up tall. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hands to shins. Exhale, fold, step the right foot back. You're in a runner's lunge. Inhale, lifts the heart. Nice straight line between the right heel and the crown of the head. Exhale, left foot back. You find your way in down dog. Inhale takes you forward in the high push-up. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward facing dog or cobra. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts tall. Exhale, step it through to the top of the mat. Inhale, lifts the heart. Exhale, left foot forward and fold. Inhale, hands to shins, flat back. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, arms sweep up tall. We're going to set up for our first back bend. So bring the palms together, bring the heels together, cross the thumbs and maybe release the index fingers. Now you're going to press down into the earth to lift up tall, distracting that spine, and then press your hips forward as you drop your head back. Chest lifts up and trace a straight line on the ceiling with your fingers for your first back bend. Be kind. Inhale, exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hands to shins. Exhale, forward fold. Step the left foot back, you're in a runner's lunge. Inhale, lifts the heart. Exhale, right foot back, down dog. We'll take our Vinyasa flow here. Inhale, forward in the high push-up. Exhale and lower. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, left leg lifts tall. Exhale, step it through to the top of the mat. If it doesn't get there on its own, grab the ankle, make sure it's directly under the knee. Inhale, lifts the heart. Exhale, right foot forward and fold. Inhale, shins. Exhale, fold. Inhale, we sweep the arms up tall and set up for back bend number 2. You've been here once before. So press down into the earth to lift up tall. Touch the ceiling with your fingertips. Touch the wall in front of you with your hips. And begin to trace a line on the ceiling straight to the back wall behind you. See if you can see that wall. Inhale, exhale, hands come to heart center. Tadasana, mountain pose, cleansing breath. So again, lots happening in the back bend. Panic sets in. Use your breath. Think about touching the ceiling with your chest and touching the wall behind you with your fingertips and your gaze. Sun salutation B, we'll add chair pose. Inhale, arms sweep up tall. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, hands to shins, flat back. Exhale, we fold and sweep our fingertips onto the floor and sit down into chair pose, Utkatasana. So sit down, sit down, sit down. The arms can be up long as Amelia are, or you can have them out straight with palms down. You want the majority of the weight on the back half of the foot, so maybe the toes lift. Inhale, exhale, forward fold. The right foot steps back into a runner's lunge. Inhale, lifts the heart. Exhale, left foot back. We're in down dog. If you'd like to take a 3-legged vinyasa, right leg would lift. You do not have to do so. Inhale, forward in the high push-up. Exhale, lower. Inhale, right foot drops if it's up. Press into upward facing dog and then press back on your exhale to downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg lifts tall. Exhale, step it through. Inhale, lifts the heart. Exhale, left foot forward and fold. Inhale, shins. Exhale, fold. Inhale, we sweep the arms up tall. We set up for a third and final back bend in this sequence. You want to go for it? This would be the time to go for it. Press down, lift up, press forward, drop back. Press the hands together. Press the palms together. Find your spot on the back wall. Inhale. Exhale, take your forward fold. Inhale, shins. Exhale, fold. Left foot steps back, runner's lunge. Inhale, lifts the heart. Exhale, right foot back, you're in down dog. Three-legged Vinyasa yogis, left leg lifts. Everybody else, you're still in down dog. Inhale, forward in the high push-up. Exhale and lower. Inhale, left foot drops, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, step it through to the top of the mat. Inhale, lifts the heart. Exhale, right foot forward and fold. Inhale, shins. Exhale, we fold and sweep our fingers onto the floor, lifting us up into Utkatasana chair pose. Inhale. Exhale, sit. Inhale. Exhale, hands come to heart center. We'll stand up tall here. Arms come to the side. Tadasana mountain pose, cleansing breath. As we stop here to realign our yoga mat that slides on my rug all the time, if you'd like to get a quick drink of water or wipe any perspiration off. It is warming up a little bit outside finally. I think we're in the 80s today. A little cloudy out, but it is still nice. Final cleansing breath here before we move into our next sequence. You ready?
I'm ready.
She's ready. So if she's ready, that means you're ready. Inhale, arm sweep up tall. Exhale and fold. Inhale, shins. Exhale, fold. Let's step the right foot back. You're in a runner's lunge. Inhale. Exhale, the right knee drops. The right foot flattens. Inhale, lifts us up to kneeling crescent. Arms come up tall. Now you're leaning forward on that right thigh. The left knee is directly over the left ankle. Arms are up tall. You want to feel a nice good stretch here in that right anterior thigh where the quadriceps and psoas muscles are. Inhale, hold here. Now if you're comfortable here, you can sweep that right arm behind you, maybe grabbing hold of your calf or your ankle or your heel. Press the hips forward and then high five the wall behind you with your left hand as you make your way into half camel. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, begin to break that posture and bring both hands to the inside of the left foot. Extend that right leg long behind you and find yourself in lizard pose. So now you're really lengthening that right quadriceps and right psoas muscles. You can stay on your palms should you choose, or you can come down to your forearms on a block, or you can come down to your forearms on the floor. You can leave your foot exactly where it is, or you can roll your left toes out to the side, maybe at a 45-degree angle, or you can roll your left foot onto the outer edge of that left foot, yogi's choice, wherever you are comfortable. We're going to stay here for 5 or 6 deep breaths, make a little bit of a yin posture out of this, really lengthening, extending, opening that right hip. Your right hip here is in full extension. So in a yin posture, we're staying in a posture a little bit longer and we're really concentrating on the lengthening, the enhanced flexibility of the connective tissue. Take 3 final deep cleansing breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. If you are not on your palms, begin to make your way to your palms. Roll the right toes under, step the left foot back, find your way in down dog. If you'd like to take an optional vinyasa here, feel free to go there. So come forward in the high plank. Exhale, lower. Inhale, upward facing. Exhale, downward facing. Inhale, we're going to lift that right leg up tall. We're going to make our way into half pigeon. So right leg comes up tall. Now bend that right knee. Begin to bring that right knee under the body so the right knee is behind the right wrist and the right ankle is behind the left wrist. Drop the left knee to the floor. Flatten that left foot and begin to press yourself up. Bringing your hands close to your body. Maybe even taking the fingertips of both hands and pressing the fingertips only into the mat. Almost like you have a baseball or a softball underneath your hands. Inhale. Exhale, lift. Take this into a back bend. Now, if you're comfortable here and you would like to take this into a quadricep stretch, you can begin to bend that left knee, press the right hand into the mat, reach around with the left hand, grabbing the left foot, and then bringing that left heel as close to your glute as you can. Amelia is able to get it onto her glute, but you might not get it more than a foot away or a foot and a half away or 2 feet away. That's okay. Now, if you're in quadricep stretch here, maybe sway a little bit left and right on that knee, and you'll feel how it changes the stretch a little bit. As you change your angle, you'll change your stretch. So play around with that a little bit. Now, Amelia is even moving to the next step here where she's getting that foot into the crick of the elbow. And if you happen to have full king pigeon here, feel free to play with that. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Exhale, slowly release that left foot. Bring the hands back to the heart, or bring the hands back to the body. Inhale. And then on your exhale, begin to bring your chest down towards the floor, extending the arms out long, and find your way into full half pigeon. Now, if there's a ton of room between your chest and the floor and you want to fill that space with a blanket or with a pillow, feel free to do so. We're going to be here for a few breaths. Also, if you have a ton of space between your right hip and the floor and you have a block or a blanket or a pillow, feel free to do so. If you'd like to extend the arms out long, maybe melting that chest into the floor, feel free to go there. This is a right hip opener and a left hip extender. We'll be here for a few more breaths. Another wonderful yin posture. This is not a yin practice per se, but we certainly do incorporate different facets of yin postures into my classes. Take 2 final breaths here. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale, begin to walk the hands back towards the body. Step the right foot back to meet the left. You find yourself in down dog, and should you choose to take an optional vinyasa here, feel free to go for your optional vinyasa. And we'll meet in down dog. Inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, step it through to the top of the mat. Drop the right knee, lengthen that right leg, flatten the right foot, and begin to lift the arms up tall and find your way into kneeling crescent on the left. Was this the side?
Wait, this is the same side.
I take it back. Okay, we're on the, everybody switch sides. Right leg is forward here. Left leg is back. So however you want to get into kneeling crescent on the right side. I knew that, and I just went the wrong way.
Just
anyway.
wanted to see if you were listening.
So the right knee is bent here. So the right knee is directly over the right foot. You're leaning forward on that left thigh. So you're really feeling that opening, that stretching, that full extension of that left thigh.
If when you lean forward, your knee is starting to go forward, then you
don't. Yeah, you can move your foot up a little bit. You don't want the knee to get far forward of the foot because that puts a lot of pressure on the menisci, which are the pads that separate the femur from the tibia. If you've ever heard of meniscus surgery, that's what that is. Now, if you're comfortable here and you want to move in the half camel, take that left arm, sweep it behind you, grabbing that left calf, left heel, or left ankle, and then begin to high five the wall behind you. Now, you want to try to keep the bend in that knee, which I sometimes have a problem with in this posture. I've seen pictures of myself and I go, my knee is not where it should be here. So play with that. Now, she's really getting a really wonderful opening of that right side body here as she extends those right fingers toward the back wall for 3. Ujjayi breath for 2. For 1, begin to break that posture. Palms come down to the inside of the right foot. Fully extend that left leg out long now. And find your way into lizard lunge on the right. So, as we did on the left side, you have many different layers and options here. You can stay right here, keeping your palms on the floor. That's perfectly fine. You can play with your arms by bringing your elbows and forearms to a block or to the floor. As I always say, the only caveat with this is, if you come fully to the floor, you want both forearms on the floor equally. You can play with your foot, turning the toes out, maybe coming onto the outer edge of that foot. That will open that right hip up even more. We'll be here for 5 or 6 breaths. So just settle in, find that breath, pay attention to your internal dialogue. Come back to that breath. Use that 3-part breath that I talked about at the beginning if you're thinking about what's for dinner tonight. Really feeling that left thigh opening, full hip extension. For 3 final breaths. Inhale. Exhale. Final breath here. Begin to roll the left toes under. Step the right foot back. If you're not on your palms, come back there. You're in down dog. You have an opportunity for an optional vinyasa here. And when I say optional, I mean it. You do not have to take it. We will all meet in down dog. So from down dog, that left leg will lift. We'll move in the half pigeon on the left. Exhale, bend the left knee. The left knee comes behind the left wrist and the left ankle comes behind the right wrist. Press down into the floor using the tips of your fingers. Inhale. Exhale. If you took a quadricep stretch on the right side and want to go here left, you can bend that right knee, press down into the left palm, reach around with that right hand, grab the top of the right foot, and then begin to bring that right heel into the glute.
Not the same.
She's not getting as much movement here on this. She's not getting as close to her glute with her heel on this side as she did the other. There can be a million reasons for that. Maybe there's not as much joint space in her knee. Maybe that's just the way that she was born. Maybe she's had injuries. Maybe she has some quadriceps issues on the right side. Lots and lots of different things. So if it's not the same on both sides, that's perfectly cool. I expect that. Inhale. Begin to slowly release that right leg. Try not to let it slingshot. Press down into your fingertips again. Take a final back bend. And then on your exhale, forward fold, bringing your chest to the floor, right over the shins. And the arms can extend out long or as long as you are comfortable with. Again, big space between the chest and the floor. Grab a blanket, grab a pillow, grab a block, fill that space. Big space between the left hip and the floor. Grab a pillow, grab a blanket, grab a block, fill that space up. And we'll be here for 4 or 5 final breaths. Again, come back to that breath, slowing down the heart rate, engaging the parasympathetic nervous system. That's the portion of the nervous system that helps us be calm Equanimity, mindfulness without judgment, equanimity. Mindfulness is being present in the moment. Equanimity is combining mindfulness with non-judgment. So you're not judging where you are in that moment. You're just accepting and realizing. Final breath or two here. Equanimity is one of my favorite words, actually. Begin to walk your fingertips back towards your body. Roll the right toes under. Step the left foot back. Shake it out, shake it out, shake it out. If you want to take a vinyasa flow here, feel free to do so. And we will all meet in down dog. Pedal it out, pedal it out, pedal it out. We'll take a quick cheetah series here. So we're going to inhale that right knee up tall, right leg up tall. Now bend that right knee and begin to pull that right knee in towards the chin, doming the spine. You're rolling forward so that your shoulders are over your wrists. Exhale, three-legged down dog. Inhale, bend the right knee. We're going to take it to the left elbow or left tricep. So you're taking a twist underneath, left. You're taking a twist underneath.
Sorry.
Exhale, back to three-legged down dog. Now we'll go there. Inhale. Exhale, bend the right knee. Bring that right knee to the right elbow. You can stay here, or if you'd like to come down into chaturanga arms, or if you have Vinyasa and opening up the legs. Exhale, back to three-legged down dog. Right foot comes down, down dog. So a lot of layers there. Okay, you can go wherever you want. You can do this on your knee or on your knees also if you're not comfortable being up in the air. We'll move to the other side. Inhale, left leg lifts. Exhale, bend the left knee. We're going to bring that left knee towards the chin, dome the spine, roll the shoulders over the wrists. Exhale, three-legged down dog. Inhale, we'll bend that left knee. We'll take it to the outside of the right elbow. Hold here. Exhale, three-legged down dog. Inhale, bend the right knee. Take it to the outside of the right elbow or right triceps. You can stay here. You can come down into chaturanga arms, or as Amelia's doing, going into full Kundanyasana. Beautiful. Lift up, lift. Everybody find your way back to three-legged down dog. Take a down dog, and then take a child's pose. I can tell when it's time for child's pose by the depth of Amelia's breath. Set the hips back onto the heels. Maybe extend the arms out long. It is Wednesday here where I am. So that means that it's lawn mowing day. So if you happen to hear the lawn mowers or the leaf blowers outside, please bear with us. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale. Let's move our bodies forward. We're going to come to our bellies. And we'll move through a spinal strengthening series here. So arms can be at the side to start. Chin down onto the mat. Legs out long. Let's bring the palms under the shoulders. We're going to move into cobra pose here. We're going to take 2 sets of cobra. So elbows under the shoulders. Let's bring the elbows in. Let's bring the, palms under the shoulders. Elbows in tight so that you feel your elbows on the side of your rib cage. Bring the legs together. Calves together, feet together, thighs together. Inhale begins to lift up your heart. Your belly button remains on the floor. How high you get up is up to you. Maybe press down into the tops of the feet. See if you can lift the thighs and release. Arms to the side, gaze to the right. And we'll take a small mini Shavasana. So when you're in Cobra, some people can get up real high, some people can't. It doesn't really matter. You want to lift the heart up, you want to lift the chin up, And if you can, you want to think about your legs here. This is not just an upper body and back strengthener exercise here. You can also get some leg work in at the same time. So if you press down into the tops of the feet, you can maybe lift the thighs and lift the shins slightly off of the mat. You'll be getting a lot more out of this posture doing it that way. Let's bring the palms under the shoulders again. Chin comes to the mat. We'll take one more set of cobra. Elbows in tight. Inhale begins to lift up tall. Gaze is upward. Drishti point towards the ceiling if possible. Pressing down into the feet. Lift for 3, for 2, for 1, and release. Chin comes to the mat first and then turn the head. Try not to turn the head before your chin gets to the mat, because then you're engaging your cervical spine in multiple motions and that can lead to injury. If you bring your chin down first and then rotate your head, you'll have less likelihood of having an injury to the cervical spine. Now we're going to move in the full locust this time, so let's bring the arms out into a T, palms down, thumbs facing, pointing above you. That brings your shoulder into a neutral position. Thighs together, calves together, feet together. Now Cobra worked on the upper back. This posture is going to work on the entire spine. We're going to be lifting our heart and lifting our legs all at the same time. Inhale, exhale. Inhale lifts you up tall, bringing the heart up, bringing the arms up, bringing the chin up, bringing the legs off of the mat. The only thing touching the mat is your hips here. Inhale, exhale. Inhale lifts one last time, and release. Chin to the mat, then turn the head to the right. Arms come to the side. Mini Shavasana. We'll take full locust one more time. Arms come out to the side, palms facing down. Inhale, exhale. Inhale lifts the heart. Gaze up the wall. Find your drishti point. Lifts the legs. Here comes the leaf blower. Inhale, exhale. Inhale one last time. And release. Chin to the mat. Turn to the left. Shavasana. How you doing?
I'm good. How
Thumbs
are you
up
doing?
that was, by the way. Want to give a hand to Amelia. She works very, very hard in these classes. Always tells me after how long I keep her in postures when I talk. So I hope that everybody watching this gets something out of my dialogue, and also feels for Amelia, who stays in postures a little longer than a lot of other people, because she won't come out of the posture. All right, so now we're going to do floor bow. If you can't get in the floor bow full, then roll onto one side or another, and we'll work one leg at a time. So bring the chin back to the mat.
If you do only one leg, does the other leg stay straight?
Well, if you're going to be on your side, I would have you get onto your side if
Okay.
you're doing that. So if you're going to do one leg only, roll onto your down side, and then you'll grab your upper foot. So chin comes to the mat if you're doing full floor bow. We're going to bend both knees, reach behind you, grab your feet, try to bring the knees together. This is your starting position. Again, if you can't get here, roll onto your right side with your right leg out long, bend your left knee, and grab your foot. No, you don't have to. And grab your foot with your left hand. Inhale, exhale. Inhale lifts, begin to lift the heart, begin to lift the chest, and then kick into the hands. The harder you kick, the higher the thighs will be, the higher the thighs will get. Try not to let the knees flare out too much. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, roll forward and lift one last time, and release. Legs come down, arms come down, turn the chin to the right. Mini Shavasana. And breathe. So with Cobra, we're working the upper back. With full locust, we're working the middle back. And with full bow, we're working pretty much the entire paraspinal musculature. Those are all the muscles that are attaching from the sacrum all the way up to the base of the skull, to the occiput. That's what you're contracting. But at the same time, you're lengthening and stretching that entire front body. You're lengthening and stretching the pec muscles. You're lengthening and stretching the abdominal muscles and the quadriceps and the psoas muscles. So both sides of the body, the back body and the front body, are getting worked to the maximum in these postures. We'll take our second set of floor bow here. So if you did it on your side, you're now going to roll onto your left, and that leg will be straight, and you'll bend your right knee. If you're on your belly, you're going to bend both knees, reach around, grab the feet, inhale, exhale. Inhale begins to kick up, heart lifts off the mat. Also, you're pressing the shoulder blades together. I have a small pencil between the shoulder blades. So you're rotating the shoulders externally. Inhale, lift the heart one last time. Exhale, release. Chin to the mat, turn to the left. Mini Shavasana. And breathe. So yes, you're getting all that strengthening and contraction in the back body, and the muscles that can connect the spine to the shoulder blades, you're contracting them as well because they work in opposition to the front chest muscles, the pectoralis muscles. So when you bring the shoulders back, contracting those muscles on the back, pinching the shoulder blades together, you're strengthening those muscles at the same exact time that you're lengthening and increasing the flexibility of the front of the chest. Let's press ourselves up using our hands, and we're going to find our way to our seat with legs out long. We'll bring our palms down to the side, find our way in Dandasana staff pose. We want a nice right angle from the thighs to the upper body. You're pressing down into your palms. Now, press down into the palms, press down into the calves, and lift your heels only. See if we can get a space between the heels and the floor. For some people, that's easy. For some people, it isn't. Sometimes it has a lot to do with the size of your calf muscle. If you have really well-developed calf muscles, your heels may be fine coming up. If not, it might be more difficult. And release. Now we'll find our way back into boat pose Navasana. We were there about 50 minutes ago. So hold here. Shins are parallel to the floor. Thighs coming as close to the chest as possible. Let's open the arms. Let's straighten the legs. If you have that in your practice, you do not have to go there. And then on a count of 5, we're going to make our way towards the floor, lowering the heart and lowering the legs. For 5, breathe. Ujjayi breath for 4, for 3, for 2, for 1, and release. A couple cleansing breaths here. We're going to move into an inversion. So yogis can take an inversion of your choice. If you want to move into a headstand, feel free to do so. We're going to go into shoulder stand. But also, if you don't have shoulder stand or headstand in your practice and you want to go into waterfall, that's perfect. So in waterfall, we're going to demonstrate that first. In waterfall, you're going to take a block or a pillow or a blanket or anything that you can stick under your hips. Hips come up tall, and then that support comes right under. And then the legs are at 90 degrees, soles of the feet facing the ceiling, arms out to the side, and that is waterfall position. You can hold here. If you are comfortable in waterfall and you would like to move into a full shoulder stand, begin to bring your hands to your hips and begin to sweep those legs up tall, supporting your hips with your hands. One day, your shoulders, your hips, your knees, and your ankles are in a straight line. You are in a throat choke here. Yes, you are. This is not comfortable. So you might have to change your breathing pattern. You might have to take smaller sips of air here. Hold, breathe. If you're comfortable here and you have full plow pose, she's going to have to watch the back wall. But plow pose would be bringing the legs above the head, maybe getting the toes to the floor. I have such a hard time getting my toes to the floor, but I end up grabbing my big toes with yoga toe lock, and I can get my toes to the floor that way. Amelia can get her toes to the floor here. If your toes are on the floor, see if you can think about pressing your heels away from you, taking you into the biggest, most intense forward fold you've ever been in, but you're on your back while you're doing it. And then if you're comfortable here and you have dead man's pose, you can bring the knees to the outside of the ears. And then everybody from here, begin to make your way back into your shoulder stand. And then slower than you would like, begin to lower the legs down to the floor. Holding here. Now we began our practice with a nice spinal twist. We will end our practice doing the same. So arms come out to a T, palms down, knees at 90 degrees. If you want to take eagle legs, feel free to do so by crossing the legs over one another and maybe wrapping the foot behind the calf. So we're going to go to the right first. So inhale. Exhale, let's take the knees to the right and the gaze to the left. I'm sorry. So if you're going to the right and you have eagle legs, the right leg is bent and the right leg is crossed over the left. Eagle legs just gives it a little bit more pull. You don't have to go there, but for those of you that have a regular practice, you know what I'm talking about, so you can take this into eagle legs. Gaze is over the left middle finger. Inhale. Exhale. Inhale brings you back up tall. If you're in eagle legs, switch out the legs one another. And then on your exhale, you'll take your knees to the left and your gaze to the right.
So different. Can't get my hand.
Every side's different. So she was able to get her left arm on the ground with no problem, but her right arm, she can't get there. Now she's still pressing that way, but it's just not there. So we could put a block under there if I have something, or a blanket or a pillow, as I said, but it's okay. Just because it doesn't get there doesn't mean nothing's happening. She's still pressing down into that area. Final breath. Inhale brings the knees back to center. If you're in eagle legs, uncross the legs. And then slower than you would like, begin to extend the legs out long. If there is anything that you choose to do to seal your own personal private practice, feel free to go there now. Otherwise, you'll begin to find your way into our final asana of today's practice, final shavasana. Our practice consists of pranayama, intentional breath, asana, postures, and shavasana, rest, recuperation, regeneration. This posture is just as important, maybe even more important than everything else that we've done. Relax your toes, relax your feet, relax your ankles. Relax your shins, relax your calves. Relax your thighs, relax your hamstrings. Relax your hips, relax your belly, relax your chest. Relax your fingers, relax your hands, relax your wrists. Relax your arms, relax your shoulders. Relax your neck, relax your jaw. Relax your face, relax your forehead. Relax your crown. Relax your mind. begin to allow consciousness and awareness to return to your bodies. You'd like to wiggle your toes, wiggle your fingers, maybe shake your head yes and no as you begin to come back. If you would choose to do so, you can extend your arms above your head, maybe clasping your hands together, taking a final stretch. And then rolling onto your right side in fetal position, maybe laying on your right upper arm. And then finding your way to the top of your mat. Legs crossed, easy seated posture, half lotus or full lotus, hands to heart center, eyes closed. I don't normally find much inspiration in Benefits Pros magazine selling solutions for employee benefit brokers. But today I did find something that I thought was pertinent. Amidst the obvious tragedy of the pandemic, I am honestly more grateful than ever. This global experience has forced me to stop and smell the roses, as they say, to come face to face with the reality of what truly matters and what truly does not matter, to appreciate simple pleasures like a hug, a social event, a restaurant experience, a full paycheck, plenty of essential supplies, etc. And ironically, reconnecting with so many fellow humans and my own inner spirit. It's almost like I needed this peace and quiet to reset, recharge, and reignite on a soul level. So, while I join the globe in mourning the tremendous loss of life and prosperity, I am also looking forward with great enthusiasm to the other side of this thing. I thought that was pretty good. If you would like to join Amelia and I in a practice sealing Om, please feel free to do so from your home. If you choose not to, that's okay. I wonder how many people have joined us in Oms. We'll bring our hands to heart center. We'll take one deep cleansing breath and then a second cleansing breath and exhale to Om. Inhale. Inhale. As we bring our thumb knuckles between our eyebrows to our third eye and take a slight bow towards one another. The light in us honors the light in each of you. We thank you for allowing us to be your guide in our practice together today. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Peace, peace, peace. Namaste.
Namaste.
Namaste. Thank you for joining us. As always, we are happy to see you, and we will see you next time. Peace.